unemployed, and there's no way around it. Okay. Phil Harvey describes unemployment with a dogs and bones story. He says you put 95 bones in a room, and then you send in 100 dogs to get bones. 5 dogs don't get any bones. Got that? Again, this is simple for central bankers now. And I really tell them the dogs and bones story. Okay, so 5 dogs don't get bones. And so what happens is the economists and the sociologists take those 5 dogs off to the side. And they have a special training course for those dogs. And they train them how to get bones. And they practice with them to make sure they're really good at getting bones. Then they run the experiment all over again. They send the 100 dogs in to get 95 bones. And those 5 dogs come back with bones this time. And they say, see, anyone can get a bone if you work hard and train hard and compete hard. Of course, 5 other dogs don't get bones, right? The unemployment is 5% of those dogs. They're not going to get bones. That's called a macro problem. What the solutions of training and everything else, those are micro. They call those micro. And when you have a macro problem, there's no way you can solve it at the micro level. The only way they're going to get rid of that problem is 5 more bones.